Dealing with snapping in Blender. So looking at snapping, this is of course now our icon over here, right, which gives you a multiple options of snapping. Okay, for example, let's press G and you can see that we are moving in different options. Like, let me just deselect this. Now you can see that we're moving freely. Okay, however, if you do select the snapping and you press G, you now see that it's moving in different snap positions, right? So once you click next to this over here, right, you can see it says closest and then it says increments, right? So it's moving in increments. However, let's say for example we now have the absolute grid snap. What we can do now is move, and you can see that it's moving to the grid, right? It's moving to the grid. Okay, so then we have different options. Okay, let's just deselect this, and then we have vertex select. So with vertex select, let's just shift D to click at this over here, and I'm just going to move this over here and maybe that side over there. Now if I press G, you can see that it will then snap to the nearest, vertex. Okay, just like that. Right over there. And that's the awesome part about using the snapping tool. Okay, so another thing to note is it snaps, remember, it snaps to the closest vertex. So let me just select both, and to make this much more simpler to understand, currently the closest vertex to this vertex, for example, is this one, right? And the closest to this vertex would be this one, and that's the reason why it's snapping to that vertex over there. However, you do have another option as well. So let's just say we want to snap over there. Remember, we're snapping to the vertex, and we're going to press G, and then we can press B, and then we can select which vertex we want to snap. For example, let's just say we want this one to snap to this one over there, and just like that, we now have it snapped over there. Just cool. Remember, let me just undo that. Remember, you can press G to move the object, B to select which one you want to select. For example, if you wanted this to select, and then it will be selected over there, or it will be moved over there. Okay, and it will snap. Okay, so the next one that we can look at is edges. So edges will be, let's press G, and now you can see that, of course, now let's go over there, and you can see that it's keeping to, so let me just go over here. So press G, B, and we want this one. So we're moving, and you can see now it's selected over there, and it's snapped over there using the specific edge that we wanted to be snapped. So we can move it just like that. Okay, let's undo that. And then we have face select. So face select is literally it snapping to the faces on other objects. For example, if you press G, and then now you will see that it has face selected, right? Can you see that it has face selected? We can of course now as well press G, B, and select this face, and now you can see that it's snapping to the faces. Okay, so another option that we have is volume, and that is something that you should go over. Try to experiment more on the options that is based underneath, and then I'm going to move over to the center. So over here it says snapping with closest, so that's the closest to the thing, to the option, right? To the closest to the vertex, closest to the face, and so forth. However, here we have to the center. So what this means is if we press G and we go over there, you will see now it's snapping to the pivot point, because the pivot point is the center of the object, right? Let's just undo that again, and then we have the median, and the median, if you look at the median, you'll see that it just goes over to wherever the median of the object is. Okay, let's just go to the other one, and then it says active. Okay, so it will do the exact same thing as to the kind of like the center. Okay, and let's just deselect it. So there is a number of options that you can or other options that you guys can go through, so make sure you do go through it, and then of course now you would then be able to see some difference over there, and that's how you would learn to better snap in Blender.